To the Inferno.
Alright, Crystalline21 here. I'm only going to be doing that for the first three, four, when I'm talking about the actual deck. The rest of the time, I may do it, I may not, depending on if I'm going to be talking to someone or discussing something. So, right now, let's talk about 3 staple spell cards. The spell cards that you have to have. And the first one is Inferno Launcher. This card you have to have. It's basically like an Inferno Mirage, but better. Well, somewhat better because with this one you get to choose if you want to target 1 or 2. With Mirage you can only use it if you have 2 targets. This one you don't. So you can get, if you have to, you can get your Artistry Investigate and Escher Surge, so you can go off a little bit more. But there's also a little bit difference between this and Mirage. These 2 cards are both easy to stop. I mean, pretty easy. I mean, we got Effect Veiler to stop that, and we have MST to stop that. I mean, right there, both of those. I mean, when Infernos first came out, Effect Veiler wasn't a threat, so Mirage was pretty bad. But MST, I think, was at 1, maybe Van. I don't know. I wasn't there for that format, but still, it's pretty. We have answers for both of them. We also have Torrential Tribute for it. We also have Warning, Judgment. Also, you can chain match each of the summons. So when they do tribute, you get to draw 2 cards for those 2 special summons. So there are minuses to them. You can also chain match either of this. So match either for both. Torrential Tribute, Warning, Judgment for both. This one's MST, Dust Tornado, anything that destroys back row, besides monster effects and effects, because those only happen on your opponent's turn. Or maybe it's like a Sheehan or something. Maybe Beast King Barbara. Not Beast King Barbara. A Materia Barkion. No, Barkion's Trap. Materia Beast. Stuff like that stops activation. Stuff can hurt you with it. So there are answers for both of these. I honestly would much rather see Launcher at 2 and Mirage at 1, just so people would stop thinking about the loop, because that would really cut off the loop. It would at least cut off the loop with 100 Ice and all that. But there are also 3 cards. This is the first one that you always want to run in Infernos. And this one is Foolish Burial. Graveyard Setup. Awesome card. No one can deny that this card is not good. It's good in a lot of decks. Like, heroes can use it for Miracle Fusion target. Samurais could use it for their trap card to get so they could synchro summon. It's not really useful in Glads. There's just a lot of decks that this card is good in, and Inferno is one of them. That is actually a pretty good card in. This is Reinforcement of the Army. The reason why this is a key card is because you don't normally play Infernos without the 2 or 3 warriors in your deck. And those are Dark Grepher and Armageddon Knight. Now, what numbers you play them at are completely up to you. I know a Vito build that runs 3 Dark Grepher and no Armageddon Knight. So, yeah. I know he does that, it's because he has T's a lot, and honestly I prefer Armageddon Knight, just because if it gives Torrential Tribute, you still get the effect, where Dark Grepher you don't. But I also prefer Dark Grepher because I can ditch a Stygiant send another side and get 2 more special summons that turn. So, yeah. These are the 3 key cards that you always run in Infernities. I don't see these changing anytime soon. Unless there's a fiend that can do that job that's coming out that you can main deck. I don't see that coming. A level 4 fiend. Because the whole fact that they're level 4s means you can go to Lava World Chain. So I don't see those changing anytime soon. The next card is depending on what deck you run. So it's not a key in every single Inferno deck, so that's why it's not 4. It's only 3 for the key cards. It is 1 for 1. Because I basically say this: if you're playing Mirage, you're running 1 for 1. It doesn't matter what deck it is or what variant it is. If you're running Mirage, you're running 1 for 1. Just because you clear out your hand, set up your graveyard a little bit, because it has to be a monster card. And I have to say this. It doesn't matter if you're running Avenger or not. If you're running Mirage, you're running 1 for 1. Because if you're running Avenger, you're probably playing an Avenger build, and you're playing Mirage anyway. So if you're playing in Mirage, you're playing 1 for 1. That's basically the easiest way I can say it. If you're playing Mirage, you're playing 1 for 1. That's all. It doesn't matter what number you're playing Mirage at. I play 1, and I'm still using 1 for 1, just because I play Avenger, so I can have an Avenger be the target for it. But I could also just do this and go off. The 1 for 1 is just a really good card. But there are player preference stuff and all that. So, 1 for 1 is one of those cards that I honestly will say once again, if you run Mirage, you're running 1 for 1. Just because it helps you out so much. It's not a situational card. If you do it and you have the setup, you're gonna be good. Because honestly, I'm honest with this. If they chain that C to it, I'm like, okay, keep going off, go for game. Because I'm like, you're playing that C, I'll let you draw all the cards you want. I'm gonna still go for game. Because honestly, I can go for a game. 2 of my 8s. Well, if I get all 3 8s, if I get 2 of my 8s plus Mistworm, that's game. Because you won't have anything to protect yourself. I'll be able to attack in 4 games. So, yeah. Let's talk about a few of cards that you can play, but you don't have to. Well, I don't want to say that. Because this first card, you want to play in Infernities. It's just, I think people are expecting too much from it, and that's a mystical space typhoon. I think people are expecting too much from this. Right now I'm playing 2. I probably won't take it down to 2, but the one network I play at 1, and I can easily sign in more if I want, because I have the option to. But I'll probably keep it at 2, just because I do like it at 2. But having it at 1 is pushing a little bit, because you want your back row hate going on. But playing this at 3, I think it's a little too much for this format, because there's really only a few targets that you want to get rid of. That's Bottomless, Warning, Judgment. If you play Starlight Road, you have to worry about Gentle Tribute, and because you have Barrier, you don't really have to worry about anything else. You just want to hit those targets so you don't have to use your Barrier, or so they don't negate the summon so you can't use your Barrier. So, yeah. Playing it there I think is a little too much, but you can if you want. Once again, that's player preference. That's why I don't put those in staples, because player preference plays a key role into making a deck to your play style, and I don't want to put player preference into staples. stuff that you have to have. Because, I mean, if you like to play 3 MST, go ahead and play 3 MST. If you like to play 2, go ahead and play 2. If you like to play Dust over MST, go right ahead. It's all up to you. Next is Chalice. I recommend Chalice because, once again, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you can run Lance. I mean, Lance is okay, but I like Chalice a little bit more because I can just activate this during my standby phase. Use to negate Thunder King's bet. So if I special summon, I'll be able to get a search. Or if I Fiendish Chained it, they could MSC it, and that effect would still go. So that's why I like this, because I mean, it's either they negate it or their effect gets negated. And it also has a attack thing that the attack boost you can use on your Archfiend after it's summoned to get your after you get your search. Use it, have Archfiend become a 22 to attack, so you can attack over a lot of stuff when he's 22. So this is something that I do recommend. You don't have to. I just recommend playing this. I mean, Chalice is also a good card because you're trying to tribute, bottomless, and all that stuff. Like you can use Chalice. I'm not saying, or you can use Lance. I'm not saying you. It's all player preference. If you prefer Fiendish Chain over Forbidden Lance, or if you prefer Lance over Forbidden Chalice, it's all up to you. And the last one is a card that I don't think Infernal players should main, and that is Heavy Storm. Infernal players should not main Heavy Storm because late game it'll hurt you, early game it could somewhat hurt you depending on what you're doing. And the only time this is good is if you go second and your opponent is set and you Heavy Storm. That's the only time it's really good. Or you just use all your resources on your back row, you top that this, Heavy Storm theirs. Those are all like situational stuff. I mean, you could also use it to activate your Starlight Road, but that'd be pointless because it's like, what if they engage Starlight Road, then you're out all of your back row, and it's just pretty bad. It's just, it's cited for dead set, like Gravekeepers, that you really need to have the back row hate on and take out a break. Because if you're playing Gravekeepers, you can't use break at all. It's, I mean, keep one in just in case. But once they activate Necro Valley, you're done. If they're playing the Malefic Gravekeepers, you want to get that Necro Valley off as fast as they can. As fast as you can, because it'll just kill you, and since they're having their Malefic monsters out, it's horrible. So that's my little thing about them. And of course I did leave out staples like Book of Moon, Monster Reborn, and Dark Hole. Those are all staples, you should know those. I don't have to mention those. I mean, I mentioned Heavy Storm because I mean that's like a staple, but it's like it's a bad staple to main in Infernities because it'll hurt you more than it'll help you. You want your opponent to use it so they activate your Starlight Road, not you use it so you can activate your Starlight Road. And that is really it. That's basically, let's just go over a little bit. 3 staples that you always will run in Infernities. Launcher, Bullish, and Reinforcement of the Army. There's no reason why you shouldn't run these 3. I mean, if you're not running Reinforcement of the Army, that's only because you don't have a target for it. Then I'm thinking, why don't you have targets for it? You should be playing Army Guide Knight and Dark Replica. In any number, you still want them because you're running a low monster count, so the odds of you drawing them are very, very slim. So you want to be able to search for them. And that also thins out your deck. So you want the deck thin so you can top deck your monsters. Or your spells that allows you to search and all that stuff. those are just like, these are just the 3 cards that I see any Inferno player playing. Because these cards are good. These cards will help. In most situations, these cards will help. The only time this card is ever dead is because you already used your Armageddon Knight or your Dark Refer and they're in your graveyard or on the field. And that's a dead card. So, and I'll say this one more time. If you're running Mirage, run 1-for-1. Doesn't matter what your, how many Mirages you're running, run 1-for-1. It'll help you out a lot. Keep your Mirage plays off. So yeah, this is Crystalland21 with Welcome to the Inferno Spells. I hope you guys learned something about staples, and hopefully you didn't take this to law. Because I mean, these 3 are basically the only thing that are kind of law. But this one's only till they come out with a Fiendish monster that does the same thing. That way we can have all Fiends and be able to do a lot more stuff and Synchro Summon into our Synchro Summon 100 Eyes a lot more. I mean, really the fact that the Warrior doesn't really hurt, except for you can't Synchro Summon to 100 Eyes. And that's really it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, the fact that it's the fact that the Warriors doesn't really hurt you because most of your targets only need Dark Tuner and a non-Dark monster, so a non-tuner Dark monster. So these 3 are staples that you have to run. Well, I don't want to say have to run because I don't want to make this seem like law. These 3 cards are cards that will help you out and make your deck a little bit more consistent, and faster, and better, and stronger. So this is Crystalland21. Think 2 steps ahead, play 1 step back, you'll never go wrong. Peace.